Yesterday, I have hired 3 South African people and I fired 3 Zimbabwe people. We cannot fire everybody once.
Only foreigners.
Yeah, only foreigners.
I've said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. For those who don't know, March and March has finally entered phase 2.
Paras was open, then will open. He will never ever open that shop. None of you guys go. But first, you've got your own government that should be looking after you. Why are you clogging us in our spaces?
What's maltragera bafithu. Ani juba tsamaya guys, ani juba tsamaya. So ba re ke makatsa gore batho ba tsamaya maltragera ya rena na.
Yeah. This is tough. Ebile ba biditse backup e nngwe ya maphodisa.
Mphathi wasemalahleni yaphinde nyanibulisa manje ebusuku kunesimo lana ngicela niphuthume imashini izonginceda la.
Lapha kwibanks abadlali bese bakhipha imikhukhu lapha eGoldnation baze bayishisile leminye yale mikhukhu bathi bantu abasuke lapha eGoldnation abasayifuni vera eGoldnation phathwa. iGoldnation ke ngilenye indzawo la kuhlala khona bantu bekufika kakhulu.
Ngendlela ama-South Africans asethandana ngakhona. Hey bo mina ngiyazi nalento.
Bahambile ama-truck awanamuntu. Thina sikuphi training nihambe niyothatha umsebenzi.
Except nangu Superman kamkhelo mufuke.
They come on our national TV and tell us that they are legal from Malawi. When you ask them what kind of a document you have, if they don't have a study permit, they have asylum. And the reason is a weak link is because they know that there are people in the Department of Home Affairs that will sort you out. As a matter of fact,
ayibafowethu mina kulonyanga ithikazi liyozala nkomo nangulo sisi lo uzosichazela ukuthi ama ID akhandwa kanjani akhandula labantu bangaphandle amaPakistani.
Permit yakho.
Tswele puzo. Mina uvuleni.
Hayi boma last week nje so.
Last week isotshela.
Intanzi yethemba kubonakala uphakela umthakathi ehamba noJacinta kwimatch and match ebise Pinetown namhlanje.
Yena lo pastor besingakaze simbone besingamazi kwi-picture. So okuningi sizitshela ukuthi sifisa ukulinda udadewethu aphaphama. Ebese sesichazela kahle kusikonke ukuthi kwenzakaleni isuku kaphi into yakhona.
We're standing outside the home of one of the artists who we had given thanks and acknowledgement to on the 30th of June, Pastor Mjosti.
Akashaye izandla lapha sishayele undabandaba uphakela umthakathi umfana waphansi kwanongoma lapha kwaMandlakazi.
This is Open Up Podcast. Welcome. Everyone that you have seen in the beginning of this video is part of this video. There's a sad story that I came across on social media today. It's part of this video. The story of Pastor Mjosti. And also Jacinta, she's part of this video. Explaining that story. I don't want to explain it. You want to watch it. Please make sure you comment in the comment section. There are things that are coming out from the Home Affairs. People are sharing the information that they have regarding the processes that take place in Home Affairs. Without any waste of time, let's watch.
So we're standing outside the home of one of the artists who we had given thanks and acknowledgement to on the 30th of June, Pastor Mjosti. So on the 30th of June, he was one of the artists that we said has shown his support to March and March. And then today I got a call from him in the morning saying that, you know, there's been an incident here. So his sister had been going to a church which was run by a man from Burundi, and that church was eventually closed. When the church was closed, she was going to another church, but now this pastor from Burundi started calling her after hearing us acknowledge him at the March and March, and asked her why is her brother supporting March and March. To which she explained that obviously he's an old man, he can support whoever he wants. And then after that, the man showed up in the wee hours of the morning and stabbed her 43 times, if I'm not mistaken, it's 40 plus times, and as well as their little daughter here. So she's currently in hospital under intensive care. But also the guy was caught thanks to the neighbor who was very brave and ran after him and went to call the police. This guy is a guy from Burundi. He came into South Africa, God knows as what, but he started a church, and apparently that church was closed down. After the church was closed down, he then became a car guard. But this particular man is also a soldier, trained soldier. So he was in the country walking around doing God knows what to survive. And today he's absolutely destroyed a family and stabbed a woman 40-something times just because that woman is related to someone who supports March and March. And we're not going to have that, because we're not supposed to have such people in our country in the first place. But our government has subjected us to such people who are soldiers, trained soldiers in their own country, coming to our country and doing all of these things. So, yeah, we're still praying that she recovers. And yeah, I'm going to say it in Zulu now, because I know some people will complain.
Yena lo pastor besingakaze simbone besingamazi even kwi picture, so okuningi sizitshela ukuthi sifisa ukulinda udadewethu aphaphame ebese sesichazela kahle sikonke ukuthi kwenzakaleni, isukaphi into yakhona, ngoba siwumndeni siyafisa ukulazi lonke iqiniso lokuthi yini eholele kulesehlala esibhlungu kangaka, ngendlela yokuthi even esibhedlela maybe bamfaka i-drip abayitholi indaba bamfaka, ngoba ayikho indaba angakwaziwe le muntu kuyona. So umntwana lo umesechaza uthi upastor wakwam accuse embuza ukuthi ubona ivideo yami sikhuluma indaba yama illegal immigrant, ukuthi asengidestroy kangakanani kumsebenzi wami womusic bedayisa umsebenzi wami estradini. So leyo nto ngaba vocal kuyona ukuthi I'm not happy ngendlela abenza ngakhona. So ngiyayisupport iMarch and March, ngiyasupport ukuthi abantu ababuyele emakhaya abangenawo amaphepha right. So kuthe makusuka lapho after leyo video waphinda futhi ngomhla ka 30 June uJacinta umholi weMarch and March ethula ispeech sakhe, waphinde wangi-acknowledge kwispeech sakhe, then waphinde wayizwa leyo nto kuthiwa kupastor lapho ke wayilabo zakho so kushuthi ubhuti wakho against thina sonke abantu bangaphandle, abantu baseBurundi, ngoba mina njengoba ngumfundisi wakho shutha ngazi noma uyichaza indaba uthi usonto emntwini wangaphandle enkini, something like that. Then wambuza ukuthi ubhuti wakho ukulento eMarch and March full time yini, waswathi lo wakithi yes uku-March and March full time. From lapho kuthiwa ayizange ilokhuzi abe right upastor, but ke sithe siyifamily ngoba yonke lezo zinto sizizwa ngomshana, siyafisa udadewethu aphaphame, ke sithole nenye nje i-information eningi, ngoba siyathola ukuthi into ekuyiyona ngathi iphinde yamcasula kakhulu yile yami yokuthi ngilinkwe entweni zama-March and March.
Sengiphetha nje amaphoyisa athini wona, ngiyezwa nanokuthi nithi uke wazama ukuyibulala, bamthole izolo engathi useyikhungile.
Izolo ke sifikile la e-police station eBluff, masifika sifika nje sifice nje kunedrama nje ehayiza besingazi nothi uyena ke, besithe mhlawumbe umuntu ongaphilile ngekhaya. Masingena sithi sifuna ukubona kwathi uyena lo hayizayo, uqeda manje siqeda kumthula ade sezama ukuyibulala ukuyihang. Then ke sathola sekhona nabantu bema-paramedics ngoba la kuthiwa ubesikekile ezandleni, I think mhlawumbe usike ngathi enza lento lemkhuba tegila. bembandisha abantu bama-paramedics base bathi-ke bacela ukuthi bamhambise esibhedlela ayothola usizo lodokotela then uzobuya khona izolo. Silindile-ke izolo laze lashona engabuyanga. Masisuka la sisabuyela khona ukuyo-check ukuthi ubuyile nesibhedlela ngoba kumele ukuthi abhekane nengalo yomthetho.
Mhlambe bengithi khona nje
okunye futhi awubuye kwasiphatha kabuhlungu umndeni ke sifike police station ke sifike sacela amaphoyisa ukuthi kunento enhlekelele nje enzekile. So impendulo esithole ngomsesho kuthiwa umsesho wecala uthe ngeke akwazi ukufika ukuzoshutha ngeke bakwazi bona njengamaphoyisa ukuzoshutha i-crime scene. Ngamchazela ukuthi isimo sinjani ngamchaza ayikho indonga singabrad. So akwenze uthe no bona abafiki mengabe kwi-attempts murder. Bafika ukuzoshutha only mekuyimeda ngathi if kwenzeka after ilokhuza ke and then bathi no abafika okubese ungidumaza later ngizokuthiwa bebe bafika sesingasekho.
Please share also in the comment section what you think about what you have just heard. This is Pastor Mjosti. The second clip that you have just watched, Pastor Mjosti. I don't know if you remember Pastor Mjosti. I know him when we were growing up. He's a comedian and also an artist. So he's a comedian. He had a church called Kwaito Church, but as part of comedy, right? So he's the one that is affected in this thing, and also he explains why he was targeted or his sister was targeted. Share in the comment section about what you have watched in this clip. Only God knows how many crimes this man committed in Burundi before he gets here in South Africa. I'm saying this because for someone to stab a woman for supporting people that are marching, it gives you another image, it gives you another image. For someone to be capable of stabbing a woman several times, and the person happens to be here in South Africa undocumented, it gives you another image about things that are taking place here in South Africa. Share in the comment section what you think about this clip. Let's keep going.
This is our money. Bahambile ama-truck awana muntu thina sikuphi training nihambe niyothatha umsebenzi.
Except nang Superman kamkhela Mufokeng. And I'm here to speak to someone that has a license code 14 but akasitholi ispan. Lalela, as Mzionke Superlink Training Academy, we are here to bridge the gap. We are offering you a training at tot liner, side tipper, and a flat deck. At the end of the training, we are going to give you a plug, so Gnigi certificate, and we are also going to create a profile that will allow us to help you get a job. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to miss this opportunity. Hit us up. What's a sick plug?
Sinbiza nonke eGauteng, Limpopo, Mpumalanga, Northwest, Western Cape, KZN. Pozanila, this one is for you. Thank you.
Yesterday, I have hired 3 South African people and I fired 3 Zimbabwe people. We cannot fire everybody once. Do you understand? Yeah. Then my job is going to stand because then there's going to be 20 new people. Some of them, they come here, they say, I'm a tractor driver. Fuck, they haven't driven a bicycle yet. You don't test them before. Huh? You must test them. How did you see that?
I wish someone could take Julius Malema and other leaders that were denying when South Africans were saying foreigners are taking our jobs. This white man in this last clip that we've watched is saying, today I've hired 3 South Africans and fired 3 Zimbabweans. I can't do it at all once. I can't fire all of them. To me, that confirms that this man has been hiring illegal immigrants. But leaders like Julius Malema, they were saying South Africans are lying or are not telling the truth. Illegal immigrants. Which jobs? Show me, which jobs are they taking away from you? this particular clip is the answer to that question. You know, share also in the comment section what you think about this clip that you have watched. Let us talk about those guys, those gentlemen in the street there. It seems like it's in a township, the ones that are beating up another guy. The story, according to what I've heard in the clip, is they are beating that guy. They are telling him, "Are you a police officer? Why are you asking this man for an ID, for a passport?" So that's why they are beating him up. And further, they are saying, "This man is just selling brooms here." Let me tell you, my brothers, if it would happen that you watch this video, from that explanation that you have said, there is no one that can come here legally and be selling brooms in the street, in our township strips. So it tells me that that guy is here illegally. So I don't condone what these people are doing, because of what I don't like. Oh, let me rephrase my opinion. What I don't like is them now trying to associate that one guy that was clearly trying to rob the foreigner, and now they are associating him with March and March. They are saying, "Oh, this March and March," referring to one person. March and March is a group of people, group of South Africans that we all know by now, that we've been seeing all over in the news doing these marches. You can't now accuse one person that we have found committing crime and associate and link them with March and March. That's my opinion. Share also in the comment section what you think about what these men were doing there. And let's keep going.
They come on our national TV and tell us that they are legal from Malawi. When you ask them what kind of a document you have, if they don't have a study permit, they have asylum. We have proven that these guys are never going into a classroom, but they have a study permit. But you have an asylum, but there's no war in Malawi. What does this mean? It means that the system is corrupted to a point that even the international community, they know that South Africa is a weakling. And the reason is a weakling is because they know that there are people in the Department of Home Affairs that will sort you out. As a matter of fact, work that when you go to department, go to Harrison Street, the activity there is like Langlachte. You go there, you want to do your license. The people that are outside there, they will sort you out. What do you want? Before you even go inside, you're going to meet somebody outside who's going to ask you, what do you want? What's the point I'm making? That internationally, people now know that if you want travel documents, the safest and most corrupt country that you can go to is South Africa. And once you've got your South African documents right, you can then travel anywhere else. It is for this reason that you find people in other parts of the world. His name is Okonko, but he has a South African passport. But actually, they actually wanted to be in London, but the only way towards London was to come to South Africa first, obtain the documents and go anywhere. That's why our travel documents have lost value. So nobody's going to be telling us nonsense about, no, I am legal. Legal because you obtained them fraudulently? Sit down. I'm not going to allow anybody to threaten me. You can tell when journalists will go. I mean, they went to Sherwood there in Devon. Are you legal in the? Yeah, me. I'm legal in the country. I'm just here to come and help these people. Shut up. Where are you from? I'm from Malawi. What kind of documents do you have? I've got an asylum. Okay. When you say that to us, quiet, done. Sit down. We don't want to talk anymore. Done. Because we know that from all these countries where there's no war, I'll tell you that you got those documents fraudulently. And yes, you got them from our people. Yes, they are official documents from Home Affairs. But if we were going to do an investigation on that quality of that paper and the process that was followed, I will tell you, you will not stand the test of time. So much and much, the people of South Africa are now talking about the issue of asylum and immigration or migration in South Africa because it has been taken for granted.
The story of Home Affairs, what this man, the clip that you have just watched, is talking about, I know it also myself. Let me tell you a story, something that happened to me 2024. Last year, 2024. I was at work, so I was going to travel during those months. It happened that my boss was told in advance. He forgot to inform me. So it was just during a normal day, and then he called me to his office. I went to his office. He was like, "Are you aware of this and that?" I was like, "No." He was like, "No, but I told you, no. I'm hearing for the first time." I was like, "You're supposed to travel to go to this particular country. Do you have a passport?" I was like, "No, I never renewed it because my passport expired some years back. It lasts for 10 years. So you don't renew it, by the way. You just have to go and do another one, you know." So I have not done that. So it's like, just leave. Go to Home Affairs now because of we are running out of time, you know. So I went there to Centurion because that's where I'm based. I'm close around those areas. I went to Centurion just before I parked. When I was getting off the car, one gentleman was just already here. He was like, "What are you here to do, my brother?" I was like, "I'm here to do a passport." He's like, No. Here we have a problem. The machines are offline, and also the queues. You know, if you want things to be fast, we should drive to Pretoria. You know, that's where we'll assist you. You know, I refused to do that because of the deal was I was supposed to pay 800. He explained it to me. I was like, 800. I was like, no, because these people, they are 4 inside there. They are 4, so they share the money. Okay, that was the story from someone that just told me, you know, outside the Home Affairs. Okay, I refused the deal. I went inside Home Affairs at my own, and then I was assisted exactly by 4 people. You get assisted by 4 people. I think the one that is taking the department, the details. The second one is verifying your ID if you're going to do a passport. The third one, I don't know. The third one is the fingerprints and the pictures. The fourth one is where you do the payment. So that's 4 people in 4 departments, so that's how you got assisted when you get to the Home Affairs, you know. So it made sense to me. I knew because that guy, he was, when I was asking him why is it 800, because 800 is to do, first of all, to do a passport, it was 500 and something or 600. So I was going to pay 800 extra to be assisted as quickly as possible. So that's how they operate, these people, you know. So the quickest way of getting rid of these problems is to deal with the Home Affairs officials, especially the ones that they've been saving for years. Those ones that are waiting for retirement, they must get rid of those people, investigate them, get them arrested, because we are where we are as a country because of them. Watch this clip.
Hayi bafowethu, mina kulonyanga ithikazi liyozala nkomo nangulo sisi lo uzosichazela ukuthi ama-ID akhandwa kanjani, akhandula labantu bangaphandle, amaPakistani iningi lawo. Yabona bafowethu lento esasihlale sizwe ukuthi labantu bangaphandle bayavota. Hayi mina bafowethu angiyiboni yamanga. Ngicela sibuke le video le. Mayisifaka eParliament sibezwe.
There are 42 people under me. So everything, the ID, I must authorize it before yenziwa. I-passport ufuna depending on authorization. Here comes now foreign nationals. They want IDs, they want passports. Then I started. Foreign nationals awuzodibana nabo emakhoneni. Foreign national ukulanda ngo. Babendilanda ngo e-office babengathumeli muntu. They used to come straight. Listen, you know what? We have 10 Pakistanis who just came, and then they need IDs. So on the population register, kukhona abantu uyakhumbula on the Bantu. It was a Bantu Affairs before.
I-Bantu Affairs yaqala ngokusemthethweni ngesikhathi i-National Party iqala ukubusa ngo-1948 futhi iqalisa ubandlululo olukhulu iqhutshwa ungqongqoshe wezindaba zomdabu uHendrik Verwoerd. Uhulumeni wasungula kabusha futhi wandisa imigomo yangaphambili yokubandlulula ukuze aphuce abantu abamnyama abaseningizimu Afrika ubuzwe babo futhi abahlukanise unomphela emaphandleni ampofu.
Then I checked the years ukuthi okay lo uzalwenini lo uzalwenini lo uzalwenini then the register the birth certificate first. Gamagama engingathole kuphi kwi-population register. foreign nationals abamind ukuthi uze engu-Abdul. If wena uthi ungu-Ali, uzaba Ali. Ngithole i-information ngafonela khona-ke base beyangitshela ukuthi i-ID yami iboleka imali ebhenki. Bathi ngikoleta i-19,000. The man that was married to me cheated with my friend. So what happened was, I had to listen here. I am going to leave you in this house. Then I'll take my children and then I'll go and rent somewhere else. And of which this is what I did. Only my husband knew that I do have other home affairs equipment in my house, like a fingerprint pad, like the forms, like what, and then
ukusebenza ihhovisi elingagunyaziwe noma elingaphansi komhlaba lezasekhaya emzini wakho kuyicala elinzima eNingizimu Afrika. Umnyango wezasekhaya uvamise ukusebenza ngokubambisana nama-Hawks kanye ne-SAPS uqhuba imikhankaso yokuvala lezi zinhlangano.
I would make a call that, okay, somebody needs social IDs, so please just take a form and then no longer the fingerprints. And now when I get home tomorrow morning, I take the forms at work and then I capture everything on the system. All right. So only my husband knew. So he had, I don't know, okay, listen here. If you don't want to come back home, I'll go straight to the cops. I knew Naya was married a foreign national whom I legalized myself. There's no way you can go to the police. Yena edu ora ajutse ngwana ona re listen re na le gontsi ya rona mo mosadi wa ka kenya dintho tsa hae ka ofela mo na re di chipets behind the garage. But the police went there, directed them. Broad daylight at Home Affairs was arrested.
Bafowethu ake sithembe ukuthi yabona ukuthi kuyingozi kanjani ukulahla i-ID bese ungareport e-police station. Into yokuqala nje ufuna yenzeke uma ulahla i-ID ufuna ureport ngoba into ezokwenzeka abantu bazoganga i-ID yakho uyithola ususenkingeni. Asazi uma sekuboshwa wena. Subscribe lapha.
We are where we are as a country because of the people like this woman. You know, these are the people that I'm talking about, that they've caused a problem together with her colleagues, especially the senior ones that have been working forever. You see how many people she herself, one person has let inside, because she's speaking about groups. She's not speaking about individuals, you know. So these are the problems that I've said in my cross comment regarding what the man was talking about, the activities that are taking place in the Home Affairs. The woman come and confirms it and tell us how they operate, how they've been doing these things, you know. So, yeah, we still have a lot to do as a country, but the quickest one is to deal with Home Affairs, believe me. Share in the comment section what you think about what this woman was saying in this clip that we've watched. Let's keep going.
I've said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. For those who don't know, March and March has finally entered phase 2. Crazy business, eh? So the taxi drivers has now finally joined the party. And guess what your leaders are saying?
No, we are not scared of the taxi bosses. They are human beings, they like us. And actually they die every day. No, we are not. No.
We are not scared of taxi drivers. They die every day. We are not scared of them. They can come. Remember one thing. Your 3 leaders have bodyguards. They have vehicles, they have cars. They have people to protect them. You don't. So know that every time you march, you're putting your life at risk. Because all taxi drivers have now realized that you guys are ruining the business on another level, to a point whereby they're not making money anymore. If you keep on marching, you are putting your life at risk. This collective word, this word that we use, we. They just want your support, your cover up. They are not going to be it. You're going to be their bulletproof vest. Just know that. Your mom will cry. Your father will cry. It's going to be on your family cost, not on their cost. If you get locked up, it's going to be on your cost, not on their cost. So what are you fighting for?
If you're a South African, you're still asking us what are we marching for, fighting for, then we can't help you at this point. We can't help you. This guy is still speaking. I decided to cut him here. I even regret why I included his clip here, because clearly I don't know where he lives. I don't know how much is he following what we are talking about, or this march thing, or these things that marchers have been fighting for. I don't know, But according to what he was saying, that is why I'm feeling like it's pointless for me to even comment further. Let's keep going.
Ake sishaye izandla laphana sishayele uNdabanda uphakela umthakathi umfana waphansi kwaNongoma lapha kwaMandlakazi. Simshayele izandla laphana ngokuthi uyizuzele inhlanhla yokuthi axolelwe udadewethu laphana uJacinta Mangobese Zuma after bezame ukumbetreya bahamba bayothatha imali lapha kuRamaphosa. Le ntombazane ke, the so kind soul, this humble soul, this beautiful soul called uJacinta Mangobese Zuma have decided ukuthi abaxolele, yabona, ngomusa wakhe uJacinta wabaxolela wabathethelela. Sikushayela izandla ke ntombazane ukuthi awugcini nje ngokuba umfazi oqinile nohlakaniphileyo, uphinde futhi ube umfazi omnene nothobeke ngenhliziyo oyilungele nje, othi umuntu mayekushayele sisihlathi wena uphinde umnikeze nalesi. Siyabonga ntombazane, siyazi ukuthi ngobuhlakani bakho esesibonile singomakhanya uzohamba nazi impisi lezi, kodwa ube uyiqaphele ngoba ziyingozi kwi movement, ziyingozi impela. Siyazi thina ukuthi unobuhlakani obujulile bokwazi ukuyiqaphela lezi impisi ohamba nazo. Uzoziqaphela ngoba uhlakaniphile, uzibone kahle. Uwe obe ukhomenta laphana, obe wenza ama-post lapha ko Facebook, ukhombisa ukuthi ubumpisi nobumenemene ubonile. So siyazi ukuthi nalento ukuthi udecide ukubaxolela kusawubuhlakani kwayibona lobo nje. Awubhekile ubumpisi babo bembethe isikhumba semvu, kodwa ubheke i-destination yokuthi asikaka-achieve njengezwe esikufunayo, asikaka-achieve. Ama-illegal foreigners awakahambi wonke eSouth Africa, kusabanjwa abantu abaningi. Kunama-Somalian abanjwe nenqwaba yezibhamu ahambe supplier ama-Somalian lawa aduna ama-tuck shops. Kusanama-drugs ahambe banjwa ko-Cape Town, ko-KZN, all over ko-Gauteng. Ubuhlakani obukhulu Mangobese ukuthi udecide ukubaxolela labafana sebebhedile, bazama ukukubetreya, bahamba bayothatha imali engcolile, kodwa uvele nje wehlela ngezantsi wabathethelela. Siyezwa namhlanje uhamba nabestradini, uyaqhubeka umzabalazo niyamasha. Into enhle kakhulu leyo, sinishayela ihlombe, kodwa sibabaza nje ubuhlakani bukaJacinta Mangobese Zuma. Sithi qhubeka njalo ntombi, hlakaniphe nje, hlakaniphe ngempela njengeenyoka, busuba mnene njengamajuba. Siyabonga ntombazane, uqaphele kodwa. Thank you.
If you managed to watch this video up until where we are, thank you so much. Make sure you like the video and subscribe, and also share your comment at home. Let me tell you what Max Makhanya was saying. Max is thanking Jacinta Zuma for forgiving, according to what he's saying, Phakela Umthakathi and Ngizwe. Remember, in 3 weeks, 2 weeks, some few weeks back, Parliament and Gizwe had a meeting with Ramaphosa, and it created a lot of noise in social media because Jacinta was not part of that meeting. And after that, the video came out. People were accusing them of receiving bribe from President Ramaphosa. So that is why Max now is saying, seeing them today together as the team, as the way we've been knowing them, it's good, and it shows how intelligent Jacinta Zuma is, because the war is not over, the war is not finished, but now at least she's aware of them, she's aware of them. She has learned the lesson now. She's gonna be working with them now cautiously, so knowing what they are capable of, you know, after obviously referring to the meeting that they had with President Ramaphosa that she was not part of, you know. But also she explained, or they explained about parliamentarians, the reason why they were called there, the reason why she was not part of the meeting. Share also in the comment section what you think about what Max was saying in this clip. And also thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you next time with another video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe and share your comment at home. Thank you so much. See you next time.